episode of the Art and Mental Health. Now, this time is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a lot darker than some of the other streams. Just warning you now that there is a trigger warning. This is going to be mostly a talk about my life and stuff that I've had to deal with. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and bring in the rest of the group and start the chat. So, hey everybody, how's everybody doing?
Not that bad, really.
I'm doing okay. Actually, I'm doing pretty good, actually.
Great to hear. So today, like I mentioned to you guys before, there is going to be a trigger warning due to some of the content of abuse and suicidal ideation and such like that happened, as well as, just it gets kind of dark tonight. So there is this trigger warning in case anybody has to leave or doesn't want to stay and can't help but walk away. That's perfectly okay. That's perfectly normal. And I will not be offended by anybody who has to leave. So today's topic is titled The Burden of My Weight. For those of you who have not already, go ahead and give a follow, turn on notifications if you want to continue to be a part of this streaming experience. It is not always this dark, but tonight's a bit of a special occasion. So tonight I will be coloring, because that's going to be the easiest thing for me to not really have to focus on. But before we really get started, I'll give my shout outs. Banner in the Works, thank you so much. Without your help, I would not be streaming at all. Power of Isa for creating this wonderful VTuber avatar. K Appleby for the banner. Kitsue for the digital version of the DPS Studios logo. And of course, DPS, Dragon Panther Studios at dragonpantherstudios.com. Go ahead and check them out. They support small streamers and are big supporters of the mental health community as well. I have a QR code where you can scan and reach out to me and for any kind of mental health venting or whatnot. I also have a digital store now, right down there. Screen.
Over yonder.
Do what?
Over yonder.
Over yonder, yes. Down in the corner by my mascot, Jasper. So, yeah, check out my store. It's where I can sell dragon eggs, and it's also going to greatly help me in my bigger goal, which is the reason for talking tonight. So, let me dig into my plethora of coloring pens and things, and I can get this started. I have a small pen collection. So there's these. There's these. And then there's these. I don't have a lot of pens at all. I probably will not be using Sharpies because those tend to bleed. Even though they do the best job. So if you guys need me to in or anything like that, extra light, that'll help. I don't know if that's anything at all, but it'll help. There you go. So yes, it is kind of fitting of the theme tonight. It's got some flowers and everything. Skull motif in the center here.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
Can you hear me now?
In the chat, we have Gray and Chef. Thank you both for here. Probably is going to be easy part of my life. But with me comes a lot of trauma and baggage from my past. And you guys have really been there. Yeah. So, like I said, the reason for tonight's topic was stemmed by what happened yesterday. I had a consult with a bariatric surgery team. I spoke to the surgeon, I spoke to staff, and I qualify for gastric sleeve. I qualify for the bypass. I qualify for the duodenal switch, whatever stuff there is.
Well, the medical thingy.
Yeah, there's several different procedures, and I qualify for all of them. However, my insurance doesn't cover it because it is a cosmetic surgery. No matter the health issues that have arisen, no matter the threat on my longevity of life, it is not covered by insurance by employer. And I spoke to a customer service rep at my insurance company, and they said even with medical necessity, will not cover it.
That's messed up.
Yeah, so tonight's story is going to be about what I've been through dealing with my weight. And it's not just about the physical ailments or anything, but the mental devastation that I've had to deal with my entire life. Because I've been dealing with my weight since kindergarten. And it's not been an easy journey whatsoever. So let's get started. It's not something that I've often talked about. I've often joked around about my weight and such, but for the most part, it's been just a lighthearted thing. There's been a lot of trauma centered around my weight, and the biggest one, I'm not going to go timeline-wise, I'm just going to kind of jump around. The biggest issue was with my mom and her, at that time, fiance, because he had like some kind of severe rage against anybody who was overweight. And he ended up taking it out on my mother. So with her trying to protect me, she got the brunt of the physical abuse, and then I got the brunt of the mental abuse. So having to listen to them fighting, her screaming, her crying, him yelling almost every night that I lived there with them, and then to face the ridicule anytime during dinner, during any kind of, family time, was just constant ridicule from him. I would be called, and this is kind of an adult stream tonight because there's going to be a lot of quotes that have some more severe language in it tonight. That's another part of the trigger warning. But he would call me a fat, lazy piece of shit because of my weight. And it didn't matter how much work I did. It didn't matter how much I tried to prove that I wasn't lazy or worthless. It was always what he would call me. I would eat a snack, and it didn't matter if it was healthy or not. He would constantly ridicule me for stuffing my face. I had starved myself a few times because of him. I had done so many things to try to lose weight. I tried, energy pills. I tried severe diets, and none of it did anything. And just the constant stress and panic that I had around him, especially when he'd been drinking, and then my mom then turning to me, apologizing for him and asking me why I couldn't lose weight so it would stop. It was an ongoing battle for many, many years. And it was, at the same time, it was so detrimental when she passed, and he never really stopped. And after she was gone. But that was probably the worst of it, because he was the one who offered me a gun, one of his guns, when I had a knife to my wrist one night. Mom wasn't there. He was out of town on one of her many business trips, and he was on one of his rages and went to the bar. And I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take his abuse. I couldn't take what he was doing to me, to my mom. And I threatened, because that always works. I had threatened to end it that night, and he told me to do it, that I was too much of a chicken shit, and offered me one of his guns. There was another night that he grabbed me by the throat, lifted me off the ground, and slammed me against the door. There was another time when, while teaching me to drive, he had reached across and grabbed my chest out of nowhere. First time he had ever done anything like that. This wasn't a good person. I know that I often say that there's no bad people in the world, that it's just a problem that they have to deal with, and I know that he's got some mental health issues as well, because he watched his dad shoot himself and has shrapnel in his leg from the porcelain bathtub that his dad shot himself in. So I know he's got some demons of his own, but to take it out on somebody else, to ridicule and terrorize somebody because you don't like what they look like, is not healthy. It's not okay. There was another night that was really bad. It was the first time that I had seen my mom get so drunk that she was sick. I didn't understand that's what it was. I was in my early teens, so I didn't really get the whole drink till you puke thing with the alcohol. I didn't get that concept. So I was terrified about what my mom was dealing with. I thought she was dying. She couldn't stop throwing up. She was crying. She called me into her bathroom to put a towel under her because she couldn't stop herself from urinating on herself. It was scary for me. I didn't know what was going on. It was a 4th of July party, or the end of one. All of the guests had gone home. He had been drinking quite a bit, so He started going on a tirade for me to get up on a school night at 2 o'clock in the morning when everybody left and clean the entire back patio. That I should not have gone to bed, that I should have gotten up to help clean. And after I helped my mom, she told me to go ahead and go to bed, and I told her that he wanted me to clean, and she said, no, just go to bed. So I did. And a little while later, he came bursting into my room and grabbed me by the top of the head, like grabbed my hair and pulled so hard that it split the skin across my forehead. And I had to wear a hat to school the next day over the bandage. And then after that, I mean, I'd screamed, crying for a good hour and a half, wishing for, whatever to just end it all, wishing that I could stop existing in this hell. And then I heard them fighting again. It was almost on a nightly basis that would happen. And that's just what I had dealt with at home. Everywhere else was ridicule, bullying, snide remarks, laughter at my expense, jokes. I got beat up for my weight. I got chased. Some of the bullying that happened was I had my hair up in a ponytail. One day on the bus, somebody came up behind me and cut it off. They didn't technically cut off the ponytail, but they cut underneath the rubber band, so that I had to have such a short haircut afterwards that I looked like a boy and was made fun of for that. I know nowadays it's not that big a deal because of how much more, normal it is for girls to have such short haircuts. But back in the early 90s, late 80s, it wasn't really common. But the cruelty of children is by far some of the worst that you could ever deal with from others. And what made it worse was we moved a lot. So every time I finally got to a point in the school where they would leave me alone, or I would stand up for myself, or I would, I don't know, something would happen, and then we would have to move, and it would start over again in school. I went to, I think, 13 or 14 different schools throughout my childhood, up through high school. So it was a never-ending, severely vicious cycle. And it was all because I was bigger than normal, or what was considered normal. There was one time where I stood up for myself. A boy had made fun of me, puffing his cheeks out and holding his arms out in a rounded arc to simulate a large stomach, and making wide steps back and forth to show a large person's gait. And I took off running after him, somehow tripped him, and sat on his chest and beat his face in with my lit book while the teacher stood there watching. And all that time, the kids in the class that I was right outside were still calling me names, saying that I was going to suffocate him by sitting on him. That, oh look, she's got you now. Sasquatch is going to murder you. And all kinds of things like that. And I would finally scream to shut the hell up and leave me alone. While I was sitting there in tears, crying at my desk. And one person finally popped up and said, hey, we should just leave her alone this time. One person out of the entire class finally realized that, hey, this has gone too far. This kid was sent to the hospital. Charges were not pressed. I was not suspended. The teacher that stood there and watched and did nothing almost got suspended because they did nothing. But they said that was the only thing that they could do, get the point across that the other students were doing so much wrong. Because teachers aren't supposed to do anything. They're not supposed to lift a finger. They're not supposed to take sides. So by doing nothing, they did a lot more than most teachers are able to. And it's even worse now. All they can do is report. But bullying was so bad back then. And just left unchecked for so many years. And when the show came out, I don't even remember the name of it, but it was that show on Netflix that got so much flack, stating it was idealizing suicide. If anybody knows the name, please pop up with it.
Yeah, I'm tracking my brain right now. I can't remember right now.
It had to do with the recorded tapes. I don't remember the name of it, but it was hard to watch because I knew how bad bullying could get in school. I knew how it felt. 13 Reasons Why. Thank you so much. Rollalals.
There it is.
13
Gosh, how
Reasons
did I do
Why
that?
was such a good show, and it really struck a chord with me. And anybody who has ever experienced bullying of any kind, even if it was a different kind of bullying in this show, it still makes all the difference to watch it. I felt so seen and heard watching this show. Yeah, I cried a lot because I knew what it felt like. I knew the isolation and the hurt and the parents not understanding and the fear to speak out. I knew what it felt like, and it really, really touched me. And I think that is hopefully something that they will show in schools one day. I highly doubt they ever will because of all of the restrictions and everything, but it's such a powerful show. And I was there. I was almost there, I should say. One of my oldest friends, Steve, my buddy in Canada, is who talked me out of actually going through with it and made me promise to never do it again. And he knew that if I made that promise, I would be safe because I always keep my promises. And there's been a couple of times after that I just wished beyond anything that I could just disappear and not have to deal with the pain, not have to deal with the ridicule. And I ended up turning to cutting because it was a way to distract from the emotional pain And those of you who really know me know that I don't like pain at all, so that's kind of a big deal to take that route. But I have to hide the truth. One of the few things that I openly have lied about. I hate doing it, but I know the issues that it can cause to be too open about these things, and especially with employers. So I have several scars on this arm. Can't really see them in this camera, but I've got quite a few, and I've chalked it up to cat scratches and stuff and accidents, but those were all from cutting. And before my son, I made a promise to not do it again, and it got so bad that I did it again. And I haven't done it since, but that's this big one right here. And it's a constant reminder that I went back on a promise. And it's right in my face. And it bothers me every time I look at it because I broke that promise. But it does serve as a strong reminder why I need to stay around. And that's why I am so terrified to go back to that feeling. Because I don't want to leave. I really don't. I just want everything to stop. You know? Suicide is not about just giving up. It's about ending the pain. It's about stopping the anguish. It's about finding an escape, a reprieve. And a lot of people say, oh, it's selfish. Why don't you think of everybody else? And then it's like, why don't you think of the person who's suffering? Why don't you think about why they're suffering and what you can do to help them? I mean, just even sitting there in the darkness with them in silence is everything in the world to somebody suffering that bad. I don't like the thoughts of suicide or suicidal ideation. I don't like going into that darkness. I really don't. But I know that there are still some nights where it seems like that would be the best. And those are the nights that scare me the most. And that's why I reached out and got help. Because that fear that I might actually try again crept in, and that fear of what I could lose and what else could be lost and things like that. And that's all because of the constant bullying, the abuse, and everything else based around my weight. It's still a never-ending cycle. It's still going on. I have been denied a job because of my weight. It was declared an insurance liability, so they would not hire me. I mean, think about that. Think about what that would mean to you going to a job and being told that your weight is the reason you're not hired. That sink in for a second. Everything else out there, sexual orientation, race, religion, everything else is protected. But discrimination against weight is not. It's very much still a problem in the workforce. And I can complain till I'm blue in the face, saying it's not fair, and there will be people out there that say, just diet, just eat less, just exercise more. But here's the thing. When that's not what it is, then what? Then what's your simple solution? Eating healthy in America is so ridiculously expensive that people in poverty have no choice but to go to the cheapest possible options. People with money don't understand because they easily can afford a healthy diet. They usually choose not to, but they can simply switch if they wanted to because it's easily affordable to buy in bulk. People who don't make enough money can't afford to buy in bulk in the first place. It's like choosing to buy one item in bulk and then going without on 5 other items. It's not easy. And I get so frustrated when people think that weight loss and eating healthy and exercise and all of that is the solution. And it's so easy because usually they've never been there. And people that have never been there typically don't understand what it's like. They typically just kind of brush it off as, oh, well, yeah, you should probably try this instead. Because that's all they've been taught, all they've heard. And it wasn't until like 15, 10, whatever years ago that the thyroid condition was a big deal. I have a thyroid condition. I also had polycystic ovarian syndrome. I had to have surgery to get rid of that. I've had so much stress in my life. I have had abuse throughout my life. There is something keeping me heavy. I have tried all the diets. I have tried so many different medications, some which are the cause for my mother's death. Weight loss meds, uppers, so to speak. I've tried injections. I've tried so many diets. I've tried so many different kinds of exercises. I've tried everything, and I cannot drop below a certain weight. So this bariatric surgery was my last-ditch effort, my last hope to lead a normal life where I didn't have to worry if I was going to, make it to my kid's graduation, to make it to the next day, to deal with the breathing issues that I have every day, face the pain that I am feeling every single day in my knees, my ankles, my back, my shoulders because of this weight. I am in a ridiculous amount of pain every day that people just can't see because I've gotten so used to it that when it is really painful, it seems outrageous that I would react that way just by walking. I know, sweetie. I know you can see it. Thanks, Never. It's hard. And those of you who do know me know how much pain that I've been in for so long. Those of you who've known me for years know how much I've struggled. And know the cost that I've gone through, the sacrifices I've made. And just to be told by doctors, by coworkers, by parents, by siblings, by friends, just why don't you try this? Why don't you try this? You should do this. You should eat less. I don't eat that much. You should eat healthier. I've tried it. I've tried Mediterranean, vegan, vegetarian, Atkins. I've tried so many. I've tried starvation diets. I've tried liquid diets. I've tried high protein, high fiber, low fat, no fat, sugar free. I've tried all of it. I've been on pills that have destroyed my insides. I have been on pills that could give me a heart attack. I could just, the effects of that have probably exacerbated my problem with high blood pressure and why I've got it. Not just because of the weight, because I had high blood pressure before I even got pregnant. And they couldn't understand why it was as high as it was before I gained how much I've got now. It's, I've tried so many different things, and I'm just so tired trying and tired of being told what to do to fix it, and people not believing me when I say I've tried it. Or, well, did you try it this way? It's like, yeah, I did. Well, what about this? It's like, why don't you believe me? That's another thing. Why do so many people not believe me? My coworker even says, I've seen you. You don't eat that much. So that's not it. And you don't eat that bad. Then he asked if I had a thyroid condition. I said, yeah, I do. But I'm medicated for it and it's still doing nothing. I am 403 pounds. The heaviest I have been. I would kill 200 pounds again. My ideal weight is 112 to 153, according to biometrics that were taken on me yesterday. I am over 2 full in weight. I am more than 2 people. Think about how heavy that is to carry around on your joints every day. It's not just a burden mentally, but physically. The exhaustion, walking upstairs, gasping for breath after that. My biggest embarrassment, and I am opening up about this because I am tired of it. I can't even get dressed without breaking a sweat in the morning. I break a sweat taking a shower. I don't even take hot showers. I can't. My lungs can't handle it. But I can't take a shower for too long. Blow drying my hair makes me sweat so much that I need another shower. Doing too much of anything makes me sweat like crazy. I don't have diabetes. I don't have type 2. I don't have high cholesterol. I don't have fatty liver. I don't have gallbladder issues. Nobody can say really why I am as heavy as I am anymore. And it just keeps going up every year. And I don't really know what to do anymore. Because this surgery was going to be, hopefully, not an answer, but a tool to use to get to where I need to be, to where I want to be. Don't get me wrong, I love my curves. There's a limit. I want healthy curves, you know? I want to be able to go back outside. I want to be able to run again. And I guarantee if I lost the weight that my knees wouldn't be in such it's so damaged that I wouldn't be able to run anymore. Yeah, I'd probably have to wear braces on them. But just thinking about being able to run and play with my kid who get up in the morning and not feel like I'm breathing through a straw. To get up in the morning and not hurt to get up. To be able to lay down in a bed for more than an hour at a time without so much pain in my back. Those are the dreams that I have for me. I don't dream about money and success. I just want to not have any more pain. And it's 90% of it's because of my weight. Oh yeah, story tonight. And if anybody else has anything that they want to share, please do, because I don't know what else to do. If anybody else feels like sharing their own story, I welcome it because I know how hard it is to share.
And insurance doesn't cover that, right?
It does not. My insurance currently does not. I've been offered a list of jobs that have insurance that does cover bariatric surgery, but that comes with a whole other monster of having to and dealing with a lapse in coverage with all the wonderful medications that we take that are so expensive outside of coverage.
How much again for that thing that without the insurance?
The weight loss medication that actually worked, I had about a two month supply of samples. It's called Saxenda. It's not covered by insurance, even with prior authorization and appeals. They just keep canceling it. Out of pocket cost is $1,200 a month. It's the only thing so far that's worked. It got me down to 80 something. Worked, but they won't let me have it.
I was asking because we can. I mean, money. You know. Gray, what are you saying?
I wasn't saying anything, but I have something I need to tell y'all when we're off the stream.
Okay, I can barely hear you.
That's because I'm moving around the apartment. I said I have something to tell y'all after the stream.
All right.
Well,
I just saw that we have a few more people in. We've got Panther, Hydra Girl, and Red. Thank you guys so much for joining in. I know it's a bit of a difficult story tonight, but ever since I was told that I don't qualify, those memories have been replaying over and over in my head, and I haven't been able to turn them off. And almost every single step is playing some negative memory or reminding me of my pain. So I needed to get this off my chest tonight before I drove myself nuts.
So, I empathize in the struggle. I want to leave my job, but I can't. If I do, I run the same risk that my current health, I won't have my insurance. They could use my autoimmune as pre-existing, and whether or not I'm able to get the medications and the doctors, and heaven forbid, in a different job, me being one of the first people to get laid off if the economy goes bust.
Yeah.
So I'm terrified to do anything. I got very lucky that when I started that job, they actually had a program covered specifically for the weight loss. So I was actually able to do something, and they did away with the program. It doesn't exist anymore.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You
So
got very lucky. I'm so happy you got in on it.
So that fear about losing your insurance in the search, the lapse in coverage, the costs, dealing with the anxieties of getting, in a new job, with us having hardships and anxieties and all the other stuff we already have to juggle. It's just not a fair environment for those of us who have to work that much harder to be okay. And it's I wish I could make it better for you. I really wish I had any semblance of power
Thank you.
to make this better, other than my going out and voting and hoping that people stop keeping others from having access to something that can make them healthier, that could give them better quality of life, that makes us more productive humans in an overall environment and a real community. I just don't know how we're going to get there so long as all we do is hate each other.
Yeah. And that's
I
something I didn't touch on with.
I don't know if my feedback at all is helpful tonight.
Well, that's still helpful. And something I
Okay.
didn't fully touch on was that I still get ridiculed in public for my
Oh, yeah.
weight. When I had to
People
walk
are-
around with a cane,
I
people.
don't have. Sorry, I cursed. Hopefully you talked over me and it didn't air.
But when I walked with a cane, and I would have to go to the mall or public places, I would get snickered at and say, well, maybe she wouldn't have to use a cane if she weren't so fat. I mean, people, just random total strangers who don't know anything about me, would say such hurtful and cruel things. It's ridiculous. In the chat, we've got Pete. I haven't walked the same path as you, but I've been down the road to weight loss. I've tried to lose weight and tried diets and exercise. I've been in relationships where I was told that if I lost a few pounds, I'd be pretty. Oh God, I'm sorry. Or always reminded that I'm fat and I should be lucky someone would even talk to me. There are times where I hate myself so much. I feel you for that. I am so sorry that you've had to go through that, because I have too. There's so many cruel things that can be said based on someone's weight. And it's just, it doesn't trigger us to try harder. It just adds to the detriment. It adds to the mental anguish. And I'm so sorry you had to deal with that, because I know how much that hurts. I know so much how much that hurts. I was reminded of it on a daily basis from my mom. That I'd be prettier. Or someone might find me attractive if I lost some weight. Nobody should ever have to go through that kind of thing. And my coworker was telling me how he watches that show, My 600-Pound Life or whatever, and I was like, oh dude, I don't ever want to get to the point where I have to go on TV and show my problems just to be able to afford a surgery at that point. I don't want to have to be a charity case. I don't want to get to the point where I can't live a life at all unless I have that surgery, and then maybe insurance will cover it. He says I've had doctors who wouldn't treat me because of my weight. Same thing. Going in for asthma or to get an IUD and being told my weight is the problem. I eat less than anyone outside of Papa, and the weight doesn't go anywhere. I feel you. My son eats more than I do. And I have been told for about 15 years that my weight was the reason that my periods were off. And it wasn't until I started describing them to a doctor 2 years ago, my new OB, who actually did the procedure, said that I had PCOS. And then I went to a different doctor to get the surgery done because I couldn't find her anymore. And they told me, oh, no, you don't have PCOS, you're just overweight. and didn't listen to me at all and treated me like I didn't know what I was talking about, said that I can only qualify for PCOS with the following symptoms, the following scans, and they have to do this and they have to do that. And it's like, okay, so how much money do you need to bleed out of me before you'll listen to me? Before you'll understand what I've been going through my entire life? And then my doctor that performed the surgery, she was amazing. She didn't think of me as a burden on her team. She didn't think of me as anything other than somebody who needed help. And it was wonderful for her to like let me feel heard. Says it's like being a second-class citizen in my own body, and that is the damn truth. I may not know the horrors of racial bullying or anything like that, but I do know the horrors of being bullied for my looks. I know it's nowhere near the same, but I have suffered so much for nothing. And I don't ever want to compare myself to anybody who's also suffered. But just know that I'm there with you. I'm there for you. I knew tonight was going to be tough. But I'm already starting to feel better. Thank you guys for letting me vent, rant, whatever. Anybody else has... Go ahead. I'll shut up now.
Not really.
Anybody have any advice?
The only thing I can really say is just don't give up. You know, remember that you've put in a lot of work on this so far, and you've actually come a long way, at least as far as, you know, thinking about your own situation and thinking about your health. So, I mean, don't get discouraged, even though it's incredibly discouraging sometimes. You're doing everything that you can. All you can do is keep on doing that, right? And you know, we're here for you. So it's great that you can open up like this, and it's I mean, don't forget that you can always come for encouragement or for assistance. We're always around.
Yeah, I'm honestly thinking of starting a GoFundMe, and I know I said I don't want to be a charity case, but I don't know what else to do. I don't want to just sit and do nothing.
Well, that's probably what's going to come to if I'm going to be realistic. We are here to also assist in these regards as far as our own powers allow.
Yeah. Because the surgery itself is $2,500. I don't remember if I mentioned that earlier in the stream or not, but it's pretty pricey. So, yeah. It's a long ways off. Like buying a car. It would be a good time to also say that if you have any share that is not on topic for tonight, please feel free. Please tell me somebody had a good day today.
Well, the only thing I can say about my day is I was supposed to see a cardiologist who may or may not think that part of my own health problems might have been heart-based. But it got canceled because, guess what? My insurance doesn't cover that test either. That's okay. We've already completely and totally decided that that was totally not what's going on. Everything's digestive-based. I've been feeling a lot better since I've been dealing with it since that way.
I got Halo Infinite.
What was that?
Which is something. I got the new Halo.
Awesome. How is it?
There is not enough swear words in the dictionary to describe my feelings towards this game.
Is this
In a good way or bad way?
Yeah.
Both?
Yeah, well.
Can't win them all, huh?
Well, here's the thing: is I'm not a quitter. I gotta win this, otherwise I lose my world champion title. No, I'm just kidding. But in all actuality, though, I can't let myself get discouraged over a few losses with this game.
Oh, is it that hard?
Yeah.
How have you been, Red? I haven't
I'm the
really seen you in a lot.
Oh, me. Good golly gosh, I've been okay. As a matter of fact, I've been working on a little. My house in Minecraft a lot, which is nice. But that's really it, honestly. Just kind of been repeated weeks of the same shit, different. Crap, same crap, different day. Yeah.
SSDD.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like when stuff feels like it's on cycle, but sometimes that's the only way things can be.
Well, you could do what I suggested for somebody else when I was them get out of a rut. Change.
I've been considering arson. What?
I was helping a friend, Hydro Girl, when she was dealing with some things and suggested changing the ornaments on her tree just in a different position. Try to, change up the monotony. I don't know if it actually helped, but even the tiniest change might be able to feel like a breath of fresh air sometimes.
I changed my living room around a lot, and I also got some beer today.
I've got some cider in there I'm probably going to partake of later on.
So I did that, but I also drank a lot of wine and then organized the closet.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, drinking and organizing is fun.
Right now, I'm tackling some yarn that I sat outside to air out one day, and it turned out to be a windy day, and so it's a giant knotted mess. And I have literally stared at this thing for a year, and I'm finally tackling it. And I had a glass of wine every night as I worked on this thing. So small victories, making progress.
Yes.
If you do,
thumbs up.
So I'm on day 2 of the new medicine. So far, it's doing good stuff, and I don't seem to be having any terrible side effects. They said it would take about a month to see if it's gonna do what I want it to do, but right now it's looking good. So
Awesome.
I wanted to give you an update versus last week's conversation.
I'm so glad
You
to hear
know,
that.
good stuff. You know what I think we should do, guys?
What?
Drunken game night.
Like a vampire feels cult. And yeah, drunken game night would be cool.
Yeah, we had that a while back.
I missed that night. I
Well,
think I had
what's
a
wrong with having another one?
Nothing at all.
There's a spider by my house. Do I beat it or do I keep it as a friend?
Keep
Are
it
we
as a
talking
friend.
game?
Always a friend, not foes.
Yes.
I love spiders, but unfortunately I have to kill them in one of the games I play. 2 of the games I play.
I'll take their eyes.
And I'm a little bit upset at one of the games that I play because they portray orb weavers as ground-dwelling spiders.
That's because orb weavers are ground-dwelling spiders, but only if they're the specific trapdoor orb weaver.
Nope, not in this game. They just wander around on the ground and shoot webs at things.
Or
What?
So
Are you
disappointing.
talking about that game where you're like tiny?
Yep, grounded.
Oh my good golly gosh.
They did the wolf spiders justice, though.
Wolf spiders are always terrifying, but did you know that they're actually not mean?
Yeah, I
Wolf
love
spiders?
wolf
No, they're
spiders.
not. Yeah.
Them frackers are scary though.
Save. Good save.
Good save.
Thank
Or
you.
in the chat, Peach
We
said
have
she had a goodish day making Halloween decorations today, and that's what your plans are. That sounds awesome. What kind of decorations are you making, Peach?
Very healthy.
I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put my Halloween tree.
Where it's pretty
Halloween tree.
and
I
stands
didn't
out
know there were trees.
in warm squishies. You know.
Huh?
Halloween is up here. It looks great. I got it done. Well, I haven't done the balcony yet. I'm saving the neighbors. I will wait till the last week of September before I do the balcony.
By Halloween decorations, I'm assuming y'all mean home decor.
Yes.
No, I have home decor, but I also have Halloween centric, orange, purple, green, whimsical Halloween stuff too, because I like the cutesy side of it as well, beyond the gothic side.
I don't get the whole glitter thing in Halloween stuff. Some of those
I do.
decorations would be so much prettier without all the glitter.
Oh no, I got these beautiful blown glass pumpkins that are
It's
striped.
high visibility.
The what's it called? The home store or something like that. It's what used to be Garden Ridge.
Yeah.
They had beautiful glass pumpkins. I mean, gorgeous. So I got 3 of them. So that's
Nice.
fine. That's my addition.
Hell yeah.
Hey, they weren't that expensive. I mean, I spent $27 on them, but I wanted something nice. I don't like this. Some of the decorations are just too cheap and plastic looking and commercialized, and they're just not unique enough.
Yeah.
So I,
Can't go wrong with a good deal.
huh?
Can't go wrong with a good deal.
No, can't go wrong with a good deal. They're so pretty.
I need to make
I'm
another monster wreath. Mine isn't looking so good.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the
Well-
screaming skull has fallen off.
So do you need to redo it or just reinforce it with some new glue?
Well, I mean, I kind of want to give my hand at another one with some different color fur other than the black and get some better looking, pieces.
So Dollar Tree has all of their good wreath making pieces out right now. I found some really nice bats and pumpkins and flowers. So I bought a couple of packets of those because I end up actually that's what I pin on my balcony when I decorate it. Is I put out the tinsel ghosts and goblins and then add the wreath making little spiders and bits to fluff it up a little bit.
Nice.
Because it's inexpensive that way. I'm not spending a lot of money, and anything that goes out on the balcony will get covered in all matters of crawlies. Typically not crawlies I want to keep like spiders, but more like tons and tons of flies. So
Yeah.
I don't really get to keep them year to year. They get trashed.
Yeah, my monster wreath just hangs out by the front door inside all year long.
Yeah,
Once in a
good
while, I'll
wreath-
go outside and make the skull scream.
my good wreath stays inside. It's bewitch ya in a minute, because you know everything's witch themed. So bewitch ya in a minute. I got 4 besoms in this house.
Always.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 besoms in this house. Anybody else got more besoms?
Besoms?
Brooms.
Oh, brooms.
Nandeska.
Huh? Somebody said something.
I'm sorry, I'm being a weeaboo in public again.
Are you talking to your game?
No.
He said, "Donde está?" Or "Donde está?" I don't know. What did you
Donde
say?
está? Okay.
Yeah.
I heard ska out of that, and I'm like, what did I miss?
I don't have any trumpets.
I was just about to say, yes, there are actually trumpets involved.
Donde
I guess
está?
that depends on what you're blowing on.
So, do I like ska? Yeah.
Goodness gracious. I thought this was a Christian Minecraft learning
Wait.
channel.
This is the art and mental health stream.
Oh. What the heck? How'd I get here? No, I'm playing.
Because we were all here and you decided to join us. Thank you.
Fair.
Good to hear from you again, dude. We miss you.
Yeah, you know, I've just been dealing with my own trials and tribulations, you know.
Bad.
I forget that, like, you know, I actually have individuals in the world who give half of a shit about me. I mean, crap, half of a crap. Goodness gracious.
There's already been a trigger warning for language and stuff. It's good.
You know what, this is... I am not good at this. I'm not gonna lie.
Foul-mouthed heathen.
Wait, who? Is it me or is it Steven?
Huh?
Never mind, I just got confused.
Jasper's sitting here wondering how to get up on the desk with all these pins in the way.
Oh, I'm sure he'll figure it out.
Yep. Needs his claws clipped, so I have a feeling it'll be half embedded into my thigh.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Here he comes. Ow. There he is. Like clockwork. Hi, Jasper.
Oh, hey.
Hi, Jasper.
This is a passive invitation. But if anybody is playing Minecraft currently, oh wait.
I'll probably hop on after the
I
stream.
forgot what I was gonna ask. Yeah. That, yeah. Come have some fun.
Yeah,
I don't.
think,
That was supposed to be like encouraging. I don't know if that sounded encouraging.
I think this is probably it for tonight's stream. It was a little heavy, so I didn't think it would last as long as the other ones. Okay. But thank you everybody who showed up. Thank you for everybody who joined in. Thank you so much, Peach, for sharing. Thank you, Hydra Girl, for sharing. Gray, Jeff, Red, everybody, Panther, for the words of encouragement and being here for me. I really appreciate it. So,
Yeah, we understand.
Jasper says it's time
Absolutely.
to stop. I guess I'll leave it at that. Thank you again, and thank you, lurkers, everybody in the chat. See you guys next week. Hopefully it'll be a little bit better. Alright. Have a good night, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Bye.